Hey everybody, welcome to Wire Talk. I'm so excited y'all are here with us today. Today we're going to talk about discipline, toddler tantrums, and how to stop yelling. I know, it's going to be a challenge, but listen, I'm going to point you in the direction of learning how to keep your cool, to stop the yelling, and also to not grow weary in this job of discipline. So excited for you. Hope you're going to grab a lot of practical tips, so stay tuned. Here we go.
Well, hello, moms, and welcome to Wire Talk.
Hello.
Mom, today we have such an easy topic to talk about.
Yeah, it's
so
my
easy.
favorite.
Like, you can just snap your fingers and it's better. No. But today we have such great questions, and they're coming from moms who are struggling with knowing how to respond to their child's behavior. So could you relate to where these moms are coming from and give us a little bit of a teaser before we jump on in?
Yes, of course. Today we're talking about discipline, and not just discipline, but also losing our cool as a mom.
Yep.
And yelling. We've all been there. We've all done that. And I can relate on so many different levels.
Me too.
But I can also say that if you stay the course and you're consistent with your discipline, it does get better.
I think I asked you this 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, how do I just keep going? And you just said, like, you just have to be consistent and
push.
And push.
Push through whenever you want to give up. Because you said, I feel like I'm getting onto Harper every single day this week. And I just said, because she's 4.
Yes.
And I just said some days are like that.
Yep.
You just feel like you are getting onto them all the time. But then you had a little breakthrough. What did she tell you the other night?
The other day, I was putting her down for a nap or bedtime, and I don't know, I was closing the door, and she goes, Mom, can I tell you something? I said, yes, Harper. And moms, I just know you know this. Like, I was just buckling up, like, ready for round 4. Like, all right, get your game face on, Emily. You got this. And she goes, I just love you so much. And I was just like, thank you so much. Like, and I told Mom, I said, I felt like God knew I needed some reprieve.
Yeah.
Like, and I really was, I was just at my wit's end, and I was
Harper's a red. You are very much a green. And
yeah.
it is discouraging, and it's defeating as a green, especially because you're just like, I don't want this conflict. But it's conflict every single day. Mm-hmm. So it's hard.
And I feel like I'm being yelled at by a 4-year-old.
Yeah, which you probably are.
But it was good. It was, the next day we still went toe to toe, but it was still like, she knows in the bottom of her heart that I love her.
Yes.
And I think that to me was like, that's really important.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. So hang in there, mamas. This is a hard one. It's going to be a good one, though. So y'all buckle up. We got some great questions.
All right. You ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right. So some of these questions are kind of long, so just hang in there with me. All right. Question 1. I'm at my wit's end with my son, who's almost 6.5. Lately, he has been blatantly defiant. I tell him to stop doing something. He pushes the envelope by doing it one more time. He's gotten a spanking every day this week, and because he's a yellow, I also send him to bed as soon as he's done with homework, dinner, and bath. But it's not getting any better. Do you have any suggestions on consequences, or maybe knowing how to address it differently?
Well, this is a great question. And here's the deal. If he's a yellow, yellows thrive on attention, affection, approval, and acceptance. So maybe you need to just sort of take a pause, hit a beat. She hasn't done anything wrong here.
Right.
But sometimes if yellows are not getting the attention that they want, even bad attention is attention for them. And so that's where he's sort of leaning into. So I would just sort of take a pause, and I would just say, I just sit him down. He's 6.5. And I just say, hey, buddy, what's going on? You don't normally act this way. You're normally such a sweet little boy and kind and loving, and you love to have fun. But here lately, you're pushing against every single thing I'm asking you, and I'm getting on to you a lot, and I don't like it. So what is going on? And then if he doesn't have an answer, then just say, okay, maybe you don't know what's going on, but let me just tell you, I'm going to give you a way to get out of it. I'm just going to say, would you like to try that again? And you just need to know that's your cue. If you don't straighten it up, you're going to be punished. So whenever y'all were little, I would say, do you want to get punished? And you'd be like, no. And I'd be straighten it up. And my sister one time before she had kids. She said, "Why do you ask them if they want to get punished?" And I said, "Because I want them to realize that this is an offense that they're getting ready to get in trouble for. So they can either straighten it up, do it the easy way or the hard way. They can either straighten it up and not get in trouble, or they can keep going and they're going to get punished." So I just think that is a better way to do it rather than just keep on them all the time and yelling and all that kind of stuff. So, but I would also just try to carve out ways you can give him attention in a good way. Just say, "Hey, let's go ahead and get your homework done. And then you and I, before bedtime, we'll sit down, play Legos. We can watch a show together. I can read you a book," whatever it is that he likes to do, just one-on-one. Maybe he just needs that little extra time. Who knows?
Yeah. Another way I say it with Harper is let's rewind and play again.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's the same verbiage, but she's a little bit younger, so that I think that she gets that a little better.
Yeah.
But she'll be like, "Oh, okay." And so, but that's great.
So that's what I would do.
So what's your one practical thing you can give to this mom that she can do this week?
Think about ways where you can give your yellow the attention that he or she so desperately is seeking. And just tie that back to, I want you to do the right choices so that we can have that time together and it will be fun. They love the word fun. And I won't be getting after you all the time.
Yeah. That's great. Kind of make it a little bit of their choice.
A little bit.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good question. Good question. All right. Next one. As I write this, I am trying to catch a nap with my 2.5-month-old while my 20-month-old toddler is screaming in his crib, refusing a nap. My toddler and I are both sick and we're in the middle of moving. My exhaustion is at a whole new level. What do I do about my emotional toddler? He has moments of intense frustration, and his solution is to slam his sweet head into the floor or wall or table, whatever is nearby. It's horrifying for me to watch. He's been doing this off and on for the last 6 months, and it's just increasing. He was doing it today in his crib while refusing to nap. Big sigh. I would love some tips on how to help my sweet boy cope with his frustration in a less self-inflicting, harm kind of way. Thank you so much for your time. Your podcast has been a lifesaver for me this past year. It's like I have a wonderful group of friends to guide me every week. That was so sweet.
It is. Well, listen, there's a lot going on in this toddler's life right now. They've got to move. She just had a baby, 2.5 months old. She's sick. So there's a lot going on in his life. And depending on his temperament, he may not like change. If he is a green or a blue, he doesn't like change. And change is hard for them. So even though he's 20 months old, I would start looking and seeing, is the change affecting his moods and his behaviors? Maybe for the fact that she's laying down, taking a nap with her 2.5-month-old, he wants her to spend some one-on-one time with him. I don't know. I'm just suggesting this kind of thing. It's not wrong that she's taking a nap, but I'm just saying that could be frustrating him. Even more change, that he's not used to that. So I would just teach him, hey, whenever you're mad, whenever you're frustrated, I'd give him a pillow in his room and say, just punch this pillow or scream into the pillow. Instead of hitting your head, which is going to hurt you, do this. This won't hurt. And this can still get out your frustrations. When Taylor was little like this, he would get very angry. And I would tell him, go outside, Taylor, and just scream. Just scream it out. And I mean, really, at 2 years old, he'd go out, and that helped him. And but Taylor did not like change as well. He did not like if he was playing, if somebody messed up his stuff, it would really anger him. And I would just tell him, you can't scream at me and you can't hit me or your sisters, but you can do these things. So teach him some tools where he can start learning how to let his anger and frustration out. And then I'd also just keep in mind, there's been a lot going on in your home. So just take a breath and it's okay. You're not going to stay in this chaotic world forever, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, this might be the backlash from it. And you can't stop it because life has to go on.
Right.
But at least teach him how to deal with his emotions.
That's good. So what's your practical suggestion for this mom?
Start putting into practice some of these things that we talked about. Punching a pillow, screaming into a pillow, going outside with the pillow, but also try to spend some one-on-one time with him. I know you have a 2.5-month-old, and that can be difficult, but try to carve it out. Even if you got a babysitter to watch the baby, take him on a little outing to the park or going to get ice cream or something like that. That might do the trick.
So great. So great.
Let's hope it works.
Yes. All right. Moving on. Question 3. I have a 2.5-year-old son and a baby girl. My son is at a stage where he is testing boundaries and not obeying right away. When this happens, I end up repeating myself over and over, and when he still doesn't obey, I end up yelling or raising my voice. As much as I hate to say it, when I yell, then he then responds and realizes he needs to do what I'm asking. How do I prevent scenarios like this? I don't want to yell at my children. I want to be encouraging my children towards obedience the first time when they're asked to do something.
Right. Okay. Well, we all get into this crazy cycle of, hey, pick up your shoes. They don't do it. Pick up your shoes. Pick up your shoes. Pick up your shoes. And then they it's like they wake up from their stupor or whatever. So we have to get out of the habit of just keep repeating ourselves over and over and over again. And we as moms have to get into the habit of asking one time. And then, like I said in the last question, say, do you want to get in trouble? And they'll say no. Then say, pick up your shoes. Or get right in front of them. Instead of sort of telling them across the room, go get in front of them and say, Mommy said, pick up your shoes. Go pick up your shoes right now. Get on eye-to-eye level with them, down on their level, and just say, go pick up your shoes right now. And then if he doesn't, then give him a consequence immediately. That's the key. That's the key with moms. We have to do it immediately, but we don't. We're like, maybe they didn't hear us. Maybe they were busy. Maybe this, maybe that. Why are you making that face?
Because, Mom, I'm in the same situation. I have a 2.5-year-old son, and he's got these big blue eyes and blonde hair. And I'm like,
he's adorable.
I'm like, come on, Grayson. He just looks at me, and I'm like, oh, come on, Grayson. And I feel this, Mom, on a very personal level.
Okay, that's true. I know you do, and we've all been there. But when you are consistent,
yes,
when you immediately take action, how does Grayson respond?
In the moment?
No, I mean, does he start obeying you then?
Oh,
I mean, I know he cries whenever you punish him
well,
and all
I was
that.
going to say, we'll use this example. Him getting in the car seat is like a battle. Like he wants to do it by himself. It takes him 20 minutes, and we're in the car parking lot. I'm like, Grayson, get in your car seat. And I think you're like, you need to tell him to get in once, and if not, he has 3 loveys, and so you have to take one away. And as soon as I did that, he gets in his car seat pretty well now.
Okay.
Because I'm like, do you want me to take a lovey? He goes, no, wubby, my wubby. I'm like, then get in your car seat, and he'll shimmy on in.
Okay. So that's the point. The point is you don't have to get after him every single time, but you need to let him know. If you don't get in, something is going to happen. A lovey's going to be taken away. I'm going to give you a pop. No show. Whatever it is. Then they will start to do it. But they have to know that you mean business as a mom. I know. It's hard.
It is hard.
They're super cute. What is our key verse? Hebrews 12:11. Pain now equals peace later. Discipline is hard.
Yes.
And no one enjoys it. No one enjoys it.
So what's the practical tip you can give this mom?
Try not to keep repeating yourself.
That's really good. Sweet Mom, I'm taking this advice from heart too. So we got this together.
I know, it's hard.
Oh, goodness. All right. This is our last question.
I know, these are flying
They're
by.
flying. It's just, this all these moms, they've got great questions. All right. This is a long one. All right. Question 4. First of all, I want to say thank you for the encouragement and support you put into answering our questions. You're always real and down to earth. It makes me feel as if I'm not alone in the battlefield we call motherhood.
You're not alone.
Amen, sister.
That's good.
I need some help with an idea to help my 9-year-old son who struggles with making excuses and passing blame. He has been struggling with this issue for a year now, and recently it's gotten much worse. I'm very tired of the words, I'm just, and, but, so. We have had many discussions about this, and I feel like I'm just hitting a wall. I don't know what to do to get through to him. His teachers and bus driver are seeing the same behavior, and his sisters is beginning to follow suit. What are some ways I can help him to change his behavior before it's too late? Thank you again for taking the time to read and respond.
Oh, such a great question. And it's not just your son. Just know that this is a trait that a lot of kids do. And they don't want to take responsibility. They don't want to take ownership. So what I would do, he's 9 years old, I would sit him down and I would just say, hey, in regards of you not taking responsibility, I'm tired of this. And I want you to start to own your own stuff. Everybody messes up. Everybody messes up. And that's okay. What's not okay is for you to disregard taking ownership of it. So here's what I want your response to be from now on. I did do that.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. Then you can tell me why. But your first thing is, I did do that and I'm sorry. And then you can tell me why you did it, what your excuse is, whatever. But I want you to take ownership of it. And ownership is saying, I did do that.
That's great.
I did do that. So that's hard. And every single time he doesn't do it, I would say, because you're not taking ownership, you just earned yourself some chores in the yard. So go pull weeds, go whatever it is you want him to sweep out the garage floor, go empty the kitty litter box, go pick up the poop in the yard, whatever it is, Mom.
Whatever chore you don't want to do.
That's right. Put him to work. And then when he comes back, say, do you have something you want to tell me? And if he still can't say, I did that, you got some more chores. Go back at it. And maybe the chores will be what is the motivating key for him to take ownership. Listen, he's 9 years old. There is still time for him to learn this concept of ownership and responsibility. And there is nothing worse than an adult that will not take ownership of what they did wrong. We all mess up, and you need to let him know that. We all mess up. That's not the problem here. The problem is you not taking ownership.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
It's a hard one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, getting practical, what do you suggest for this mom to try this week, today?
Well, teaching responsibility is hard, but it's something that they're going to learn, hopefully, and keep for the rest of their lives. So just stay on him. Don't, even if he does it 1 or 2 times and you're like, okay, that's good, he's got it. Maybe not. It's a pride issue. And, pride is coming from the heart. And so it's better to crack this nut while they're little than to let them keep going.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's like when we were getting in trouble or we didn't want to do something when we were younger or middles, it just give us time frame. We all did it.
Yeah.
And I remember Dad saying, I need obedience first and then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
I need a yes, ma'am, no, sir, like that kind of thing first, and then we'll talk about it later. But you guys made us be obedient first. And then if we wanted to come back to it
and justify
our point, you would. But first it was, I think that's what you're saying, it was a pride issue. Like we needed to be obedient first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this boy needs to take ownership first.
Yeah. That's great.
Yep.
It's good. Well, that was awesome.
Yes,
Thank
you. Thanks, moms, for your questions. Those are really good. And listen, I know discipline is hard.
Yeah.
I really do. It's I've talked about it in a lot of my curriculums. Mom Course, Survival Guide of Motherhood, 6 Truths of Motherhood. I mean, almost all of my curriculums has a discipline section.
Amen.
So, and there's a lot of podcasts on discipline. So it's hard. And it's hard for everyone, but pain now equals peace later.
All right. Well, it's my mantra. We can do
right.
this.
Y'all can do this. You got this.
Well, moms, thank you so much for spending your time with us today, whether it was on YouTube or podcast. We can't thank you enough. We couldn't do this without you. The podcast is an arm of our of Birds on a Wire ministry, and we just can't thank you enough. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get updates on future and upcoming episodes that will just be downloaded to your device wherever you're listening. If you have any questions that you want to be answered, please just email them at info@birdsonawire.moms.com, and we would love to put them in the upcoming episodes. We are here for you. Birds on a Wire is a ministry for moms to encourage and equip you. And you can go to the website at birdsonawire.moms.com to see curriculum, podcasts, free resources for you that are amazing. Seeing Karen speak live, that's a great thing. Or if you ever want her to come speak at your church or an outing, there's inquiries there that you can, all that information is there. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.